Capricorn, welcome to the tarot room. My name is Robyn. Capricorn, today let's do a what you don't see coming style reading. Let's see what's coming towards you, Cap, that you're not expecting, you're not anticipating. Okay, we have a very passive energy here. We have yin and time for a nap. So yin, they want me to grab the bottom. Hold on and put that away. Oh, and then we have regeneration, phoenix rising from the ashes, baby. So the yin is a very feminine energy, a very passive energy, a very reflective energy. Time for a nap. It tells me you may have been in a reflective energy here, maybe taking a break, taking some time for yourself. And then there's the regeneration, the phoenix rising from the ashes. So there's action, there's potential. We go from the feminine to a very masculine energy here. Okay, let's see what's going on. Let's see what it means. Let's get into it. Well, hello, Empress energy in the house. There's the Eight of Wands. Okay. Eight of Wands, this could be moving in a new direction. There could be a message coming in from a feminine. You could be a feminine. We shall find... Oh, there's a Five of Swords. You're turning your back on that, shiznick. Okay. We'll see what's else. Hold on, let me center myself here, Cappy. We're not in the middle. Okay. Let's get some more cards on the table, and we shall... Yeah, there's the struggle, and there's the challenge here. Okay. What's after that Five of Wands? Because remember, after the Five of Wands comes the Six of Wands. There's your masculine. Oh, well, this is a kind of replaying these cards in a different, the feminine's walking away from the struggles, walking away from the rest, coming into the masculine energy, taking actions, get ready to celebrate. And the Ten of Wands, and there's the Seven of Pentacles. I think you've been on a long journey, a long process here, a long progression I'm feeling. So let's start with this Eight of Wands. What is the Eight of Wands here for Capricorn? I do feel you're heading in a new direction, potentially an uncomfortable direction or an unexpected direction. It could be a message. Whoa, hold on. What was that? King of Swords. There's the past. You're moving on from the past. So I do think with this time for a nap in the yin, you've been in a reflective energy. You may have been reflecting on the past, thinking about the past. But there's kind of this energy around you, Capricorn, where it's like, you know what? I'm not letting the past hold me back no more. Ain't nobody hold me down. So there's an element here where you're starting to appreciate the past experience. All right, you know what? I see the value. I see the lesson. I see what I want now. I see what I don't want now. There's an element here of getting serious about your business. So the King of Swords, I do feel it's your energy. I do feel there's a very strong element of you here, Capricorn, balancing your feminine, your masculine. I think you're leaving the feminine energy behind. And in that sense, I just say the reflective energy, thinking about the past, focusing on the past. You're walking away from that and you're moving forward. And I feel you're making the decision to do that. The world is your oyster. The world is in your hands. You got the whole world in your hands, and you're not going to let the past stop you from accomplishing your goals, from getting there anymore. There's a very motivated, action-oriented energy here, and it's like you're rising the best version of yourself. You've learned from this past, you see the benefit of it, and now you're moving forward. I do feel the struggles and the challenges are coming to an end. I do feel there has been some struggles and some challenges, the regeneration, the phoenix rising from the ash style reading. But what is it that's triggering this? Why is, maybe you don't realize you're about to take action. What is it that's triggering this? Because this is a don't see coming reading for Capricorn. So what is it that's triggering this change or creating this change for Capricorn? There's a big shift here in your energy. The Ace of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay, smoke. Okay, so for some of you, it's just alchemy. There's three ways I'm interpreting this. So I'm going to give it to you all three ways, baby. So, you know what I mean? Remember the song? You remember the song, He's Fly for a White Guy, but when it starts, it's like, give it to me, baby. Let me give it to you straight, Capricorn. Let me give it to you straight. Some of you, this is love. You're about to meet someone here. We got a King and the Queen of Pentacles. We got the Ace of Pentacles, and we got the Three of Pentacles. So maybe you just hadn't been finding the right person, or maybe you were healing from a love situation, and you're about to encounter someone who's a compatible match, someone who's grounded. Could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but ultimately somebody who's loyal, somebody who's wise, somebody who's down to earth, somebody who's stable. So for those of you where this is love, and you've just been healing from love and letting go, you're about to rise into a very compatible partnership, a very successful new beginning. This is the card of soulmate, twin flame in a love reading. So pop the champagne, pop the booty. You're about to fall in love, baby. Now, for others of you, this would be business. We can't ignore all these motherfucking pentacles at Capricorn. You're going to get a job offer, incoming opportunity, a job offer that you work well with, that brings in prosperity, that brings in abundance. Maybe you haven't been working, maybe you've been unemployed, laid off, or maybe you've just been in a very settling energy where you don't like where you are, but you got to be there because you got bills to pay, you got responsibility. But you're about to have a very successful fresh start and new beginning, one in which you're really going to like the boss, the coworkers. Maybe if you're the boss, you like your employees. So you're settling out of that settling energy and you're coming into a very rising energy. Now, for some of you, this is just straight alchemy. You have done the inner work. You've taken the time to heal yourself. You've taken the time to work on yourself. You have balanced the feminine and the masculine to make beautiful magic in your life. And that is creating a lot of opportunity for you. However it applies, yeah, get ready to celebrate. If this is a job offer, there is the neutral third party offering you the job. If this is you, you're just getting serious about what it is you want. You're making your plan, you're bringing it into fruition, you're getting into that masculine part of yourself. And if this is love, this is very serious. This relationship might move quite quickly. I know I'm saying that. Don't freak out, Capricorn. But I feel that compatibility element is there. When it clicks, baby. So either way, there's a very strong shift in your energy, a shift in your life here, and it's a good shift, and it's a shift that's going to make you damn happy. All right, Capricorn, that's what I got. That's what's up. That's what's going down. That's what's coming towards you that you don't see coming. Big shift coming in your energy. Apply it, which life and how it applies to you. Other way, we end this reading with a lot of celebration and a lot of happiness. We got some dancing in the street. Okay. Capricorn, let's grab some oracles. Let's see what they want to say. We'll jump back into the tarot. We'll do a potential outcome. We'll see where you are at the end of May. Right now, we're kind of around, I don't know, April 21st, 22nd, 23rd time frame. Maybe I should just put a calendar on the corner of the table so I know, but who cares? Sometime then, we'll go to the end of May 2025. What does Capricorn need to surrender to get to this regen? Oh, yeah. That's what you've been taking a break from. Unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that no longer serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. All right, let's get your spirit animal message, Capricorn. Spirit animal message for Capricorn. What do we have? Yeah, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Okay, the hippopotamus, exploration. If you have become bored with your life, you have the creative power to stir things up and revitalize everything. You can do this by starting new projects, setting new goals, and making spiritual connections. I do want to grab the energy oracle and then we'll get into the tarot. And Cappe, for those of you who are interested, I am open for personal readings. If you'd like one, you can find them on my website, which is thetarotroom.net. All right, energy oracle message for Capricorn. Woman holding a heart. Okay. They want me to get one more. What's with that woman holding a heart? What is it? What's she saying? Anxiety. Have no fear. You're walking away. Okay. So the woman holding a heart is leading by your heart. It does represent some difficult emotions, and I'm going to say because it's paired with the anxiety. You could have been fearful. Maybe you were worried you were never going to find the love of your life. Maybe you were worried that you were never going to find your dream job or that job that brings in that stability. Or maybe you were worried about money. Or maybe you were just worried that you weren't going to end up where you wanted to go, or you were on the wrong path, or maybe not. It's like you weren't where you wanted to be. It's like that energy where it's like you had this plan for your life and now you're 50, but you're not where you thought you'd be at 50, right? But don't worry about that. They want you to walk away from that. Everything happens in divine timing. Everybody is on their own timeline, their own time frame, right? There is no set way for how life is supposed to be. And a lot of times life throws us curveballs and we got to go with it, baby. So this is just a reminder to walk away from difficult emotions and fears. You don't ignore them when I say walk away. Don't suppress them. Don't pretend they're not there. But I feel you've taken the time to work through them with this feminine and this take a nap energy. It's like you've taken the time to heal. You've worked through your feelings. And now it's time to progress forward, right? 27 is 9 and 18 is 9. So it's time to move forward. It's time to end into that new cycle. And 46 is 10 and then we got 10. So that breaks down to 1. So it's time to move forward. It's time to walk away from the fears, the worries, the anxieties, and lead by your heart. All right, Cappe, let's do it. Let's get down to it. Let's get your potential outcome. A Capricorn, when I say potential, there's always free will. You're going to make the decisions you're going to make. And when I say outcome, well, let's see where you are in May 2025. Let's go to the end of May, see how you're progressing, see how things are doing, see how you're feeling. How's Cappy doing here in May? We got the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay. What's with him? So we can understand. We got the Sun. That's what's up. Okay, what's anchoring this, though, is not what's up. That's the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Wow, the Two of Pentacles upside down. We want 2 more cards here. Let's get to the bottom of that. The Empress. She's here again. Okay, and what's on the other side? Whoa, whoa. We got a lot more cards. There's a Chariot. Okay. 4 of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the King of Wands. Whoa, that was upright, but then I flipped it. So the 3 of Swords. Hold on, I got a lot more cards than I normally get. Let's break this. Can you see them all? Let's put them all on camera. Let's break it down. Let's go card by card, one by one. I'm definitely going to need to clarify. The Knight of Swords in reverse, I feel you weren't giving yourself enough credit. There's a different ways I'm going to have to interpret these cards for based how this is applying. But if this was career, I feel like you weren't giving yourself enough credit. You weren't maybe, I think you were settling. I think either way, and no matter what the situation, how it applies, there was a settling energy, Capricorn. You weren't giving yourself enough credit here. And you're the damn Empress. Better believe it. You better remember it. You better recognize Capricorn. So they're just, you're in this energy where you're reflecting back and realizing that, right? You're looking at that past love relationship and saying, well, you know what? I wasn't giving myself enough credit. I was settling. Or a job, you know what? I wasn't, really realizing how gifted or talented I was here, and I was settling. There's an energy where you're not going to do that anymore. I'm still a little bit confused by the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Let me clarify that card and I will better understand. Is that the High Priestess? Oh, it's the Hierophant. Same thing. Okay. And there's the Hermit. It is an element. See, there it is. It wasn't the right job, wasn't the right place, wasn't the right energy for you. And you're recognizing that and you're seeing that. I do feel there's like maybe it was a lack of, there just whatever it was, you weren't getting the credit. You weren't seeing your value quite the way you should have. But you are in a month from now. So you're not doubting yourself. You're not going to let yourself feel that way anymore, because the fact is people treat you the way you let them treat you, and you're not letting them treat you anymore. What you're realizing, and it's sometimes, and I see this all the time, and it might be an offensive message for some, so don't take offense. If it's your message, it is. If it's not, it's not. But there's a lot of people where we get caught up on a person or a situation or a job, and we think it's our destiny. We think it's what's meant for us, but it's not meant for us, right? It's not a situation that is meant for us. In hindsight's 2020, and this is the energy where you're realizing that. If this is love, you're realizing, damn, you know what, that past person, they might have been a soulmate in the sense of a soul contract, but they weren't my soulmate in the sense of the person I was supposed to be with for the rest of my life. This person's a lot more compatible. They've given me a lot of confidence. It's like you like who you are when you're with them. And you're realizing with the past person, you didn't really like who you were, didn't bring out the best in you. And the same with your business, right? If this is a career, it's like maybe you thought that field, that job was your destiny. Maybe that thought you were meant to do, but you're realizing it wasn't. And it's okay to learn from those experiences. It's okay to change our mind and to grow and evolve. And there's an element here where it's like this job brings out your skills. This job complements you so much better than the last job. And then for those of you who are just alchemizing, you're just gaining that confidence and that clarity of who you are, right? You're giving yourself credit where credit's due. You're forgiving yourself or maybe choices you made that you disagreed with, or, that type of energy. And you're now giving your credit. You're giving credit where credit's due. And that's creating a lot of balance and harmony, a lot of breakthroughs in your life, but ultimately a lot of confidence, Capricorn. So apply it how it applies it. If this is love, you're really realizing there's a soulmate energy here. If this is career, you're realizing that you're heading in the right direction and you like this so much better. You're confident now. Your skills are being highlighted. And if this is just all about alchemizing your masculine and your feminine, you're confident, you're having a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of realizations, and it's just really about self-love, loving and valuing yourself. But ultimately, you're really happy about the direction that you're heading. And that is where you are in a month. Beautiful energy around you, Capricorn, a lot of growth, a lot of evolution. You're going to have a lot to celebrate. So that's what's up. That's what I got. That's what's going down. So Capricorn, I sure hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope it resonated with ya. And as always, if you like my style, I do ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Helps my channel to grow. Thank you, Cappy. I always appreciate your support, darling. And let's close your reading off with your final message today. What is the final message for the Capricorns? What do we got? Be faithful to that which exists within yourself. So return to an affirmation throughout the day that reinforces the parts of you that you want others to know. So I am the Capricorn and I am capable of anything. And there we start it and end it again with the number 9. That's what I got. That's what's up. That's what's going down, Capricorn. I truly wish you the best of luck. Until next time.